If I die today, I'ma go and get some money. If I die today, I'ma go and get some money. If I die today, if I die today.
Cold flows for a cold mind, see a new world, but I'm so blind. Kick rocks when your time's up, better start digging like a coal mine. Cold heart, seen cold times, it's a bold move, but the sunshine raise up when you...
Good morning, Cardano Army. It's your boy Boomin coming at you with yet another video, guys. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, that like button, and that notification bell so you never miss a Boomin update. Today, we are going to be talking about USD coin on Cardano. Well, Charles is going to be talking about it. And I've done a couple videos here and there about my thoughts on the situation. But after listening to what Charles had to say, I think he might be right. I truly do believe that Cardano is one of the most libertarian and decentralized networks in crypto history. I really do believe that. And in that vein, what I said before I watched this video was, we do need USD coin on here. It just brings a massive amount of liquidity. But Charles in this video makes a couple of good points. Number one, it's not just about number go up. Okay. If Circle does come in, we're inviting legacy. We're inviting the people that we're trying to get away from into the crypto ecosystem, and they have unlimited resources. So if we let them in, there is a chance that they could come and take over and start making decisions that we might not want them to make for Cardano. That was a really good point. Number two, there was a wonderful comment that someone left a couple weeks ago when we had this USD coin talk that about reversing transactions, freezing transactions. We don't want that here on Cardano. We want to be completely decentralized. We want to be completely egalitarian. Cardano was built to push power towards the edges. And, I think sometimes avarice gets the best of us all, okay? Now, right now, we're bearing the fruits of the Bitcoin ETF that was recently approved. We can see Bitcoin has been pumping like crazy. Crypto's been going crazy right now. But that's a blessing and a curse, because now BlackRock owns about a fifth of the Bitcoin that Satoshi Nakamoto has in his wallet, and that's going to keep going up as more and more people buy this ETF. It's pushing power towards BlackRock, towards State Street, towards Vanguard, and this is what the cryptographers back in 2009 built Bitcoin to get away from. So do we really want these people owning and controlling that much Bitcoin and crypto? I don't know, guys. I'm just one man with one opinion, and as new information comes, I change my mind. I'm gonna play this video here. I don't really have too much Cardano news to talk about. We're gonna look at the price of Cardano. It's pumping a little bit as well. But if you hadn't seen this video, I highly recommend you guys watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and play it in its entirety, and then we'll take a look at the crypto price and end the video. I love you guys. Keep chopping wood. Let's get right into it.
Toskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny, sometimes Colorado. Today is February 12th, 2024. Hard to believe that we're already a month down, halfway through the next one for 2024. It has been a long and interesting year, and we're just getting started. So I want to make a video talk a little bit about where the industry as a whole is going and some of the existential concerns that I don't think rank and file mainstream cryptocurrency people fully appreciate or understand. And it's really a turning point in the industry. So it's a very important video from that respect. So recently I was on several different podcasts, and I made the point that algorithmic stablecoins are an essential thing that we need to, as an industry, look into, and that asset-backed stablecoins are a little problematic. So I got an interesting graph for you guys. Let me show you a little something here. Wow. Okay, so this comes from PowerPoint that's produced internally, but I wanted to share it because I really, really like this data from Coinmetrics and Illuvium. So anyway, stables represent about 10% by value of the crypto market cap, of which USDT and the USDC are the overwhelming majority of those things. Okay, but they dominate the on-chain transaction volume, about 70% of all transaction volume. So from a crypto perspective, ETH and Bitcoin take a backseat to USDC and USDT. These are, by volume, the value transfer mechanisms of our industry. They represent the huge majority of on-chain traffic and value transfer in our industry. Now, there's something about these two guys, USDT and USDC. They are asset-backed. Very important term, asset-backed, which means that there are two properties you can't get away from. One property is that there's a central issuer. There is a company who is regulated in a jurisdiction, subject to that jurisdiction's rules and regulations, and whatever that jurisdiction wants to put upon that company, permissive or otherwise, they are subject to it and cannot get out of it. They're a business like a bank or anything else responding to that regulation. And I'm not diminishing or saying they're bad actors and that they're evil people or something. I'm just saying that they exist within a jurisdiction. They're subject to regulation. Crypto does not. Crypto is a global asset. The people who hold it are subject to their local regulations. So if you're in Estonia, you're subject to that. If you are in South America and Argentina, you're subject to whatever it is there. And of course, the United States, you're subject to that. And if you do business with a US person, then suddenly you're now under US jurisdiction. But Bitcoin as a protocol doesn't wake up in the morning and say, I follow the US law. A stable coin that is asset-backed does. There's no way to get around that. And the top two basically have to follow, for the most part, what the US government says. Even if they're running away from it a little bit, like Tether, they still, at the end of the day, they can't violate, they can't push too far in one direction. So that's the first set of problems with asset-backed stablecoins. The second set is they can't go fractional. And that's a good thing. But with a hard fork, let's say there's Bitcoin splitting and there's Bitcoin A or Bitcoin B, or more pertinent to this example, Ethereum splitting, Ethereum A, Ethereum B. You can't have a situation where the stablecoin issuer says, you know what? I'm going to let my stablecoin be on both sides and we'll just let it ride. Why? Because doubling the supply means that they're only backed by 50 cents to the dollar. They have to pick a winner. They either pick A or they pick B. A or B, but not both. They can't pick both by design. If 70% of all your transactions, all your value transfer is occurring at that stablecoin level, and your entire DeFi economy relies on that, you can't be the chain that suddenly loses USDC or Tether. You have to be the other chain. So what if they split and one says we're going to put KYC into the whole system and the stablecoins support that split, and the other side, well, they just lost your stablecoin. Means they lost all their liquidity. They lost all their DeFi backbone. What do? That property forces them to pick a winner. You have now implicitly given to the stablecoin issuer, the asset-backed stablecoin issuer, that power. A small group of people you've never met, you have no relationship with, you didn't elect them, they have nothing to do with your underlying asset. They have that power, that authority now. And that's incumbent in the design. Now, the only coin that is not subject to these issues are algorithmic stablecoins, because they take a crypto asset and make another crypto asset, and the algorithms, the custody, all these things are moderated on chain, which is why I say again and again and again that the only thing that's value compatible with cryptocurrency is algorithmic stablecoins, not asset-backed. Unless you have crypto assets backing other things and your blockchain is the custodian, okay, but only an algorithmic coin has that property. Now, you have some notion of ownership, and of course the users can vote chain A or chain B for that honoring, but an individual doesn't get, or a corporation doesn't get carte blanche to decide which side of the equation to be on. Now, I mentioned this, and now let's go to the clapping idiot seals, cryptocurrency Reddit. Algorithmic stablecoins are most suitable for the crypto industry. Charles Hoskinson. They say Luna says otherwise. Wish he kept his mouth shut. And I do hold ADA. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. ADA holder here, but Cardano is one of the worst blockchains in terms of stablecoins. Look at how stupid he is. Jed is a failure. You're all failures. All right, yeah. He's a charlatan. All these things. So what's this telling you? It's telling you the zeitgeist of the thought process people have. Have they actually thought about the danger of algorithmic stablecoin, asset-backed stablecoins in comparison to value-compatible algorithmic stablecoins? No, because the thing they care about, the only thing they care about, is this right here. The vast majority of people. Number go up, and boy, number been going up. We're up 18%. 16%. Look at the list. Most of the top 10 are doing pretty well. Okay. Number go up. That's the only thing that matters to the people here. So they don't stop for a moment and understand the existential risk. By the way, it's the exact same problem here. If you look at 10 billion AUM for Bitcoin ETFs amongst BlackRock and Fidelity and these other Bitcoin trusts, well, what does that translate to? 200,000 Bitcoin being in the hands of a small group of actors who are regulated. They have the exact same power as Circle now with Bitcoin. And you have all the Team Orange running around saying, well, no, they don't. The miners are in control. Okay, well, let's go do the experiment. You fork and you have Bitcoin Chain A and Bitcoin Chain B. And the ETFs say, we support Chain B. So what do? They take whatever assets they have that have just been replicated in Chain A, and they sell all of it. What does that do to the price of Chain A? It goes into free fall. And you know what happens is the miners, they say, well, same hash power, but if I mine A, I get 25, 50, 60% less than if I mine B. I'm just going to move over to B. Hash power falls. The dominant chain is Chain B. As more of these legacy actors come in, they'll acquire more and more of the supply. They already have a fifth of what Satoshi has. Remember the panic scenario in Team B? Team Orange keeps saying, what if Satoshi comes back and sells all of his coins? Well, you have just invited in some of the richest, most powerful multinational globalist organizations to own 200,000 of your coins. And you've done it. Happy, 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 joy, joy. Every day. You're fired up about it. Why? Because number go up. Then you look at the centralized exchanges. They get to decide list A, list B. You see the trend here? So hang on a second here. How many big exchanges do we have in crypto? The top 3 control the vast majority of our transactions and trade by dollar value. Small group of ETF holders, small group of centralized exchanges, 2 big asset-backed stablecoins, which constitute 70% of the value transfers. Sum that up, 10 legacy regulated institutions control the vast majority of your value flow and also get to decide the future of all of these projects. Why? Because if you go in a different direction, they won't list you, they won't give you a stable coin, and they'll dump your coin if you go in a different direction for a project that you love. You tell me, is crypto eating legacy or is legacy eating crypto? This is something cryptocurrency Reddit can't understand because the only metric that matters is number go up. Anything mentioning my name, bad. And Cardano is a scam. Lo and behold, we're one of the few ecosystems that managed to stay a little bit out of the fray because we weren't a VC Ponzonomic coin. We just organically grew. And for the most part, most of Wall Street has ignored us. For the most part, most of that legacy infrastructure hasn't paid too much attention, and we've had organic TVL and organic growth. Now, the community is starting to invite the vampires in. It's not my job to say it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's my job to go ahead and say, I have concerns, and to let people know that when these people come in, they gain a lot of power and influence. They get to decide your level of transactional privacy, your custodial standards. What is a wallet? What are your listing criteria? and the governance therein. What chains are legitimate, what chains are not. What consensus is legitimate, what consensus is not. Who gets liquidity and who doesn't get liquidity. Which jurisdictions. And dozens of other things. They get to decide all of that. And if they decide that you're not worthy, like Monero getting delisted with most modern exchanges, it's shit out of luck. Is that the revolution we signed up for? To have 10 companies come in and completely take over cryptocurrencies and basically run them and control them. I didn't sign up for that. I don't think a lot of people did. But if your only criteria is number go up, that's what you get. That's the reality. And if you attack and criticize the people who have this message, you have to really ask yourself, who the fuck are you? Why the hell are you here? I'm getting real tired of being called a charlatan. I'm getting real tired of being called a con man and incompetent. And I'm getting real tired every single day carrying the weight on the back of telling the truth about where we're going as an industry, whether it be decentralization or the lack thereof, the consequences of the legacy financial industry coming in and what they do, and the idiocy of Team Orange and how everything but them is a scam, but then they hand their entire kingdom over to the very bankers that spawned Bitcoin from their malfeasance. We as an industry need to take a step back, take a deep breath, and really ask ourselves, why are we here? What's the point of these things? And are we as an industry, because of avarice, so prepared to hand away what makes the industry special, unique, and frankly, sustainable to the very people that we were trying to get away from because number go up? It's important that we understand that every decision has consequences, positive and negative. Every single approach has trade-offs. Nothing is free in life. And every single thing we do, we have to ask ourselves, does this move us closer to a more egalitarian, a more fair and transparent world? Or does this move us closer to the very people we started trying to run away from as an industry? Every time you hand your custody, decision, your voice, your hash power, your voting power to a centralized entity, you are restoring an order that we were trying to usurp. Every single time you create an actor who you have a dependency upon, you remove the promise of Web3, whether it be OpenSea or Infura or Alchemy or any of these services of convenience, whether it be being in an exchange to custody your coins and let them vote with it and stake with it, or it be embracing an asset-backed stablecoin over an algorithmic one. You're making a decision that it's okay to be centralized. And that's a personal choice. And that might be because you don't care about cryptocurrency philosophy. You have no desire at all about any of the values and principles that this entire industry was formed upon. Okay, that's a fair point. You can't be a libertarian and then judge people for having a difference of opinion. But do understand that the consequences are that these assets are now no different from the legacy assets we sought to replace. They're just basically a different flavor, okay? You've replaced the cane sugar with high fructose corn syrup. You're going in the opposite direction. So do understand that and do understand these things. And that's why I speak out about it. I am, as I said, getting a little tired about it, especially where there's just none of the other prominent leaders coming forward and really expressing themselves. Because you notice little by little, they start doing business with these same firms. Little by little, they start building relationships with these firms. Why? Because they're made men and they want to keep the fortunes that they've made. And that's their decision and their prerogative. And I guess from time to time, I have to be the guy out on the island and tell people, well, I have some concerns. I absolutely have concerns that 10 actors together get to decide right now the direction and fate of cryptocurrencies by how they upgrade, which ones are valuable, and which ones have liquidity. And I am deeply concerned that over the arc of time, the next 5 or 10 years, we're going to see stringent KYC and AML put on every wallet. We're going to see a boatload of CBDCs entering our space and being treated like cryptocurrencies, and everything move towards a permissioned invitation-only system. And we're going to see wholesale deplatforming of some of the most vulnerable people because they just happen to live in the wrong geographies or happen to live under the wrong governments. It's unethical and immoral to remove the economic identity and agency of. It's wrong. It's always been wrong, always will be wrong. I, for one, am here for freedom of association, commerce, and expression. I believe you should be able to have the thoughts that are in your head without them being criminalized. You should love and be able to work with the people that you want to, and you should be able to participate in markets without fear of censorship and exclusion. This is the bedrock of the revolution that is cryptocurrencies. And none of this means anything if we hand all those things to legacy actors. I have nothing against the legacy actors. They have shareholders. They're businesses. They have to behave in no other way. Their whole point is to maximize their value and enhance their competitiveness. And if that means they enter our industry to do that, they're going to do that the same way they enter any industry. Embrace and extinguish and use every advantage they have. Regulatory arbitrage, domain expertise, the heavy hand of markets, all kinds of things to control that. We tried to get away from it. 2008 was a pretty terrible time for a lot of us, and so many people got hurt and victimized. And the whole message of Satoshi is we can do something a little different, and we can be different. And I like to remind people that that's not a guarantee just because somebody writes some code. The meta means more than the actual. And the meta is the infrastructure, the owners. The meta is the technology that we embrace and how that technology works together. And the closer we get back to the legacy, the more we start realizing we've lost control. So just a cautionary tale, something, guys, to think about. Thanks.
Wonderful talk there by Charles. What do you guys think? He made some really good points, and I tend to agree with him. I do believe in the egalitarian nature of Cardano, and if we just hand BlackRock, Vanguard, ARK, just all the power and Circle all the power, then what's the point of crypto? There's really gonna be no point. So let me know what you guys think down below. Just real quick, got to give a shout out to our sponsor, OneCom, ticker symbol 1COMM. You guys know the drill. Keep Cardano decentralized. The only way we do that is we support small stake pool operators, guys. Go ahead and delegate your crypto to OneCom now. It's imperative that you do so. Thank you so much to OneCom. 0% fees until at least the end of June 2024 for all existing and new delegators. Follow OneCom on Twitter for crypto news and notes. Thank you so much to OneCom for being a sponsor of the channel. Taking a look at the markets here. Looks like we're exploding here. One of my previous cryptos that I talk about on this channel is exploding pretty good. Cardano's up to 60 cents now. This is what we like to see. We've come a long way, guys. Come a long way. And if you've just been stacking, staking, and chilling, you've been doing good. And if not, welcome to the party. We still got a long way to go. Bull run hasn't even started yet. So I love you guys. I'll be back tomorrow with the Vechain and Cardano updates. Keep chopping. And thank you for listening to that. Goodbye.